This video is for adult collectors. Hi everyone, this is a video review of the Transformers Legacy United Cybertron Galaxy Force Hotshot. As you can see, I've already got the figure out of the box. However, let's start my reviews. Start by showing you guys the box. So, let's switch to the box right now. Show you guys. Not sure if this is actually artwork or shot of the CGI model from the 2005 Cybertron show. Actually, could be funny if Hashtag actually saved this CGI model and they're giving us a screenshot of it for the side, and on the front, nice artwork of Hotshot in vehicle mode. And as you can see, actually shows his wings, which is his cyber key gimmick. I'll show that. I'll show you what I'm talking about if you don't know what I'm talking about later on. You can see the gun storage on top. Artwork from part of the 40th anniversary Legacy poster on the other side. It says Legacy United on the top. There's information on the bottom. On the back, you see screenshots of Hotshot in both modes. Enough about that. It's easier to talk about the figure while I'm actually showing it. So here it is. Once again, actually I like to do a comparison. So here's Hotshot, and here is Breakaway from the Transformers movie line in the 2000s. This is actually a repaint of the original Cybertron Hotshot. So this is a valid comparison. You can see that in their similar designs. Their designs are very similar, including the small forearms. I like how the ball joint is gone here and an actual bicep swivel here. Really glad. Nice to see, since the War for Cybertron trilogy and Legacy, Hashtag has gotten rid of visible ball joints. So there is a noticeable difference in how hefty this repaint of Hotshot was. Though it's not much of a difference. I'm glad it's not way smaller. Saw that Toy Guy's review of Hotshot. I didn't see it all the way. He had a thumbnail saying deluxes aren't actually getting smaller. They have gotten smaller. Although in this case, the new Hotshot isn't much bigger than the new Hotshot isn't much smaller than the old one was. Should prefer the proportions of the chest on the older one. Kind of like how it's got this more beefier upper body look to it, whereas it's just more straight and rectangular here. What I do like about the new one is that the legs are thinner. Don't look at the bottom part of the legs is thinner. Doesn't look as wonky as they do on the original one. However, I wish on the new one the wings were a bit higher, just like on the original, because you can see them here, but it's not hard to see them on the back, which is odd, since with all some problems Transformers have, such as cable and hollow parts, you'd at least want them to look as good as they can from the front. We also got a molded Autobot symbol. I wish this one was actually molded in. This one is way too small. Though, nevertheless, I do like the remove of the ball joint. This is accurate to how he looked in the CGI model. This is CGI model. They didn't show ball joints because they would look too toy-like in Cybertron or Galaxy Force TV show. So the head sculpt on both look great. Can't decide which one looks better. Aside from a few minor differences, this hotshot from Legacy United is a very faithful remake of the original hotshot. However, if there was one thing I would actually want to change, it's these car doors on the forearms. Wish there's a way to transform the figure without these staying on here. However, you did see that Toy Guys review, or I mean part of it, and he did. You can actually remove these. Which I like, because if you got a accessory that sticks out long past the bottom of his hand, it would collide those car doors. However, without these car doors, it becomes very more apparent that these forearms are small. Wish there was a wish Hashtag made these forearms longer. Even if the forearms did look stubby in the TV show, I don't like how short the forearms are. Wish they were longer. And the bicep doesn't because the bicep, I know that would probably make the arm longer, but maybe shorten the bicep too. Doesn't need to be necessarily this long, so the arms aren't too long if we have longer forearm. Nevertheless, this is a very faithful remake of Hotshot. The main thing that I wish would be carried over from the original, which hasn't been here, is being able to see the wings from the front. Speaking of which, before I forget, I want to go over these wings. These are actually the Cyber Key gimmick. So, the Cyber Key here. Here, the wing things will pop out. This will pop out in vehicle mode, so it's like a flying car. Note this is painted. However, since this was repaint released for the, when did this come out? 2007 movie line. There's no code on the back. Only the Autobot symbol is painted. It's painted silver instead of red. Well, the rest of the key is red, so I guess that makes it stand out. The key Cybertron Hotshot comes out with is much smaller. It's not painted. It doesn't release any gimmicks. These are just pull these out by hand. It's got a fake slot in here, just like Starscream had. Obviously, because it's smaller, this tiny Cyber Key doesn't work with any of the gimmicks of the old Cybertron toy line. Even the key that came with the third-party transform and roll out Cybertron Optimus Prime was the right size to work with the old Cybertron toys. And this one's painted too. You mainly use this for the magnet to get the stuff to light up. What is good is these new Cyberplanet keys have a uniform size, so you could use different keys. The other modern Cybertron figures, this is the one from Vector Prime. Do a review on think I'll do a review on Vector Prime later. The Legacy United version, I mean. Hotshot also has this accessory. This is the accessory for Breakaway. It's supposed to be a missile that comes out. You push this button here, fires a missile. So it's meant with it in. Modern Transformers aren't about missiles, so it just looks like a barrel, which I think is for the better. But you do have this painted silver part on top to indicate where the missile launcher thing was. Still has the same sort of color separation. Without the missile, this would just look like a really short gun. So once again, Hotshot, his accessories, very faithful to the original toy and the TV show. Only thing, major problem I have with it is I wish the wings were higher so I could see them from the front. Because with all the problems Transformers usually have, such as the kibble and the hollow parts, you at least want the front to look as good as possible. And the wings were visible on the original. Well, this is actually Breakaway, but I'll continue to call this the original Hotshot. So my reference for Hotshot, couldn't find the original toy if I have it. I wasn't even interested in finding all my old Cybertron toys and repaints of Cybertron toys till recently when I got the TRO2 third-party Cybertron Galaxy Force Optimus Prime or Galaxy Convoy. So now that I've said why I think he looks good, move on to going over his articulation. So also compare his articulation to the previous figure. So to say that this had a biswap and swivel joint, which is good. It's accurate to the TV show. He never had the ball joint. The difference in articulation is you got hip swivel here, which wasn't present on the original. And I'll continue to refer to this as the original because it's just a straight up repaint of Hotshot, no heavy retooling. And also thigh swivel. There was none on the older one, but you get a 90-degree knee bend, but you didn't get ankle pivot. You get ankle pivot here and some upward tilt, which is good. The previous one had downward tilt, and that's because of the differences in the transmission, and I believe it's for, hold on, this figure, well, I'm not sure which one is better, but they tilt in different directions. This one also has 90-degree bend, since the elbow was 90 degrees. Also big difference in the head articulation. This one's on a ball joint. Again, so ball joint. This one does not, just looks side to side. And so you do get a bit of shoulder movement in the arm, but not as much as the new one. Unfortunately, most of the shoulder articulation is close to the chest, so you gotta move the arm up and out. You gotta move it, get the shoulder over chest, then rotate it to the side just to get that same articulation. It's unfortunate Hashtag hasn't been able to get the shoulder articulation entirely in the arm, though it's a greater degree of movement compared to the original. So So really appreciate the added articulation. It's very faithful to the TV show, the way this figure looks and his accessories. Robot mode looks great. Let's move on to the articulation. First, I want to go over the original. It's more or less very similar. So this here, I did get a. You can actually take this whole back piece off if that's easier for you. Watch Balt Matrix's review of his original Cybertron. Hotshot started off in vehicle mode. He said, when transforming it back, you want to slide this part out. This is attached to the back before turning the whole back section around. Just keep that in mind. Just something I've noticed in his vehicle. Now, this is a pretty hefty vehicle mode. And I can already tell this guy's vehicle mode is not going to feel as heavy. Obviously not as big. So, anyways, let's continue. Get his head down here. And you can now fold this out. This forms the cyber key slot in. No, no, that's not the cyber key slot. Should this be folded in? I'm going to check the instructions again. All right, so this part should go in according to the instructions here. Anyways, let's continue. So this in. Here's another difference in the instructions. Open this panel and you accordion these legs up. This is how modern Transformers their shins, get their thighs into their shins. And this sort of engineering has been used by Hashtag since Generations Thunderwing. So then the lower part back here, you can get these wings back in here. I think it's easier to transform them like so. You want to the car door. Here, so should find it easier this way. Whoops, this way as opposed to just stretching the lower legs over the tabs. Let's see. Fell. See if there was any damage to the paint. Looks like none. And get the front windshield down. Is in vehicle mode. Oh, I forgot you get this piece on top of here too, just like the picture on the front shows. And you can still stick the cyber key in here. Get the wings back out. Yeah, it looks very cool. So as I said, there's a considerable difference in bulk between the original and the new one from Legacy United. This one has more articulation. Still looks very much like the original, but there's considerable difference in weight, even more considerable than the difference in size. It's a bit bigger, but undoubtedly bigger, the old one, and definitely a lot heavier. Even just weighing these in my hands without any actual scale. Still, smaller Legacy Hotshot captures the design of the original quite nicely, and this one's actually painted. I mean, more paint apps, because this is actually not repainted to look like a different character. Actually do like color scheme on Legacy United Hotshot over it's Breakaway. And again, you can actually put the cyber key in here, get the wings out, which is cool. Now, unfortunately, these wings do kind of sag. They're standing up. I think I forgot to mention that. Just pointing it out now before I forget to mention it again. I'll get this back into robot mode. So let's transform these back. So just move this winch up. You know, like I said, you want to pull this out because this tab is over here and you don't want to risk breaking it. And swing this around. You can't remove the forearms on this, but you can remove the back parts. And again, you can actually get these up. It's cool as you can see the wings here. Robot mode. What's a trade-off? The cable does look worse on the original. And then, yeah. One for the new one is a bit more complex. As it should, it's for a greater stability and show accuracy. Well, I guess the most show accurate thing is it doesn't use the ball joint anymore. For the elbows, it's the only thing that's more show accurate about the new one. Nevertheless, it's very faithful representation of Hotshot from the Cybertron TV show. Even though it's got a smaller, a straighter chest. The head out here. I actually put this fingernail to this square rectangular space here to get the head up. I want to get this panel out. And then with we get these tabs back here in between this space here. Yeah. Make sure that's in securely. I want to get this part up. You can't get the backup part up quite as far as the original, but should allow for just enough clearance to move legs comfortably. Yeah. Now here is Hotshot back in his robot mode. Yeah. So overall, really enjoy this figure. It looks very faithful to the original. Accessories faithful to the original as well. Really appreciate the added articulation. Doesn't add too much to the complexity of the figure. It's still fun to It's not complex, but it's fun to transform. So I'm glad not much was added to the transformation to accommodate for its new stability and articulation, because you don't have problems like the thighs sliding down into shins. I'm looking at you, the third party, a certain third party Star Convoy figure. And so I actually looked it up. It's called Stellaris Promenon. Uh, its thighs constantly slide into the lower part of the leg due to gravity in it not being so well staying clicked into place. I won't have that problem here with this hotshot. It uses modern articulation to get the thighs out. Vehicle mode for hotshot looks great too. Take this out, stick up like a sore thumb. Speaking of which, I am glad the cable is positioned quite a bit, so you don't see it sticking up over the top of his head like the original, but unfortunately it makes the wings harder to see. But it is a nice trade-off. Nevertheless, the new hotshot is a great representation of the character from the Cybertron cartoon. You know, it's not quite 100% accurate, just because the original's got like a larger chest, but those are very minor differences. It nails the look for very much nevertheless, this hotshot nails the look from the TV show almost completely. Also appreciate how the cable, the car doors on the forearms can be moved. This is a great addition to any Transformers, Cybertron, or Galaxy Force collection. Please like this video, and if you do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's it for my review. Bye.